I swear by the Almighty Allah
I swear by the Almighty Allah
that the evidence which I shall give to this commission
and the evidence which I shall give to this commission
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me Allah.
So help me Allah.
Thank you, sir. You can wait for the instruction.
Right.
You can wait.
Could you
for the
kindly state
instruction.
your names? Could you kindly state your names?
Mousa Balla Gaye.
Where do you live, Mr. Gaye?
I'm not.
Where do you live?
Okay. Fajara Golf Course area.
Would you like to sit down?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Gaye, you were in the public service? You were in public service?
Yes, I was in the public service. I mean, I joined the public service in 1970. I resigned in 1989. I was appointed Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs on the 23rd of September 2003 and removed from office on the 9th of June 2009. In between, I was Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs between March 2005 and October 2005. Between October and November 2005, I was Secretary of State for Trade, Industry and Employment. So that's my civil service career.
You're telling us about your career during the previous regime. Is that correct? When did you say you started in the civil service?
I do not hear.
Oh. When did you say you started in the public service?
When?
I thought I had you mention 1997.
No, I mean, I said I joined the public service, the civil service in 1970, and I resigned in 1989. I joined again in 2003, and I was removed in 2009, 9 June 2009.
All right. Thank you very much. You've been summoned in relation to Gamtel and Gamcel. Can you hear me? You were summoned in relation to Gamtel and Gamcel.
Yes.
During the time you were Secretary of State for Finance, the government decided to sell 50% of Gamtel and Gamcel to a company called Spectrum. At that time you were SOS, I believe, Secretary of State for Finance.
Yes.
I would like you to explain to us your involvement in the sale of Gamtel and Gamcel.
Now, this was in July 2007. I was summoned to the office of the former president, and when I went, I can recall meeting there the former Secretary General Usman Jammeh, the former Secretary of State for Communications, Mrs. Nene Magdol Gaye, and some other officials whose identities, I cannot remember now. There was also, a delegation of some Lebanese, I think, who were later introduced as representatives of Spectrum. The former president informed us that government has decided to sell 50% of the shares in Gamtel and Gamcel for $35 million, and also to turn over Gamtel Gamcel for the management of Spectrum. So Spectrum will take over the management of the two companies. At that point, he said, we have an agreement here. And Secretary of State for Finance, Mr. Gaye, you should go with the Secretary General and Mrs. Nene McDowell Gaye to your office and negotiate this agreement with the Spectrum representatives and sign them today. That were his instructions. And we left and went to my office, photocopied the agreement, and started negotiating the agreement. And after we have negotiated the agreement, there were proposed amendments which were accepted. The representatives of Spectrum said they were going to clean up the document at the Standard Chartered House around Kairaba Avenue. And we were to break up and then resume again. When we broke up, everybody left. At some point, I had a phone call from the chief of protocol saying that the president said you should come to the cabinet room and sign this agreement there. At that point, I rang Mrs. Nene McDowell Gaye. She was at home, and informed her. And at the appointed time, they all came to my office and we walked across to the cabinet room. There was a larger crowd, and there the agreement was signed on the government side by Mrs. Nene McDowell Gaye, and on the Spectrum side, I think by their managing director, Ali Shirara, or something like that. That is what happened.
What was the process that led to the sale itself, the agreement itself? Was there any process that led to the agreement?
Was there any?
Process.
No, there was no process. I mean, I want this to be very, very clear. Government had never discussed the sale of Gamcel. I had the two companies were valued at $70 million. We had never seen a valuation report of the shares of the two companies. I mean, the Minister of Finance also had a divestiture agency, the GDA, which should have been involved in the divestiture of the government shares in Gamcel. So all these things were ignored. Nothing was done. We were just summoned and informed that government has taken a decision, which I think the president is entitled to, being the chairman of cabinet, being the president of the country, to say that government has decided to sell, shares. Fine. But there is an established procedure, and there is a process. And these have been respected in the past. So, but in this particular case, really there was nothing. We were just informed of the government decision and then asked to negotiate. There was no representative of the Attorney General Chambers to help us with negotiating a legal document. So this was the situation that